Please remain standing and let me introduce briefly the Reverend Craig Lewis, who last Sunday was installed at what many of us think is the Cathedral Church of Lutherdom, Central Lutheran Church, with whom Augsburg College shares a mighty mission in the city. He has much to do today. He's going to stand over, I think, the commencement of Luther Seminary, which, as many of you may know, now houses what once was Augsburg Seminary. That, I think, occurs immediately after the meeting here, and I think later tonight yet another meeting. We are grateful for his willingness to invoke the divine presence for our purposes, and we hope he will be effective in fending off what looks like it might be a little rain so that we can have a fun time in Murphy Square thereafter. I hope that isn't too frivolous a request to make of him and of God. Pastor Lewis.
Sir, I am in sales, not management. God of grace and God of glory, on your people pour your power. Oh Lord, we pray your presence in our midst this day. This, oh Lord, is a culminating moment for parents, for siblings, for faculty, for friends. We pray your presence this day, oh Lord. This, oh Lord, is a moment of crisis, a moment of accomplishment for students who have studied long and hard and now prepare for another stage of your life. We pray your presence, O Lord. Oh, incline your ear to us, O God. Hear our hopes, hear our fears, know our desires. Open our hearts, O God, and allow us to see the world and the difference you've allowed us to make in it. We dare ask all these things in the name of your Son, Jesus, who came to this low ground of sorrow, that all who believe in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. And now the church says, Amen.
I have told the commencement speakers that they are not freed from their obligation, despite the fact that we jumped the hymn in front of them. They are still here to do their task. Let me begin doing mine by saying welcome, and thanks very much for gathering in such number for this wonderful occasion. Let me say a few things about this class. 507 people are qualified to receive degrees today from Augsburg College, 68 of them graduate students, and about 410 of them are prepared to walk across this little stage and receive their degrees at the appropriate moment. 21 states and 20 countries are represented in this class, and the class has distinguished itself in many respects. The Division III NAA, what is this? What's the NCAA, pardon me. The NCAA Division III Football Player of the Year nationwide is represented, or is in this class. A Goldwater Scholarship is held by one of the members of this class for outstanding work in mathematics, science, or engineering. There are 5 student athletes in this class who were named to academic All-American teams. One of the members of this class testified along with 79 others nationwide before Congress in respect to the work of the National Science Foundation in regard to student research. There are many more achievements here, and some of them you will see in ribbons that hang from the shoulders of these people as they cross the stage, representing the honors they've won in respect to the Latin sort of level and also the departmental level. So it is a wonderfully distinguished group. It is large, though not the largest in our history, and it is certainly distinguished. It is a wonderful thing that these people are able to celebrate their achievement with the help of their family and friends. And gathered here as well is the faculty, which have watched their work for either these 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 years. The regents are here, the bosses of the college, and so is the administration, proud to be in a position to say thanks for coming to this college. Thanks for all you've done while you've been here. Congratulations upon your achievement. We wish you well and are confident that you will do brilliantly because the college from which you graduated was exactly the right choice for you, right? Let me introduce the commencement speech. There is one speech, but there are two speakers. They will not speak at exactly the same time, but they will speak, I think, in harmony, a harmony which I think is very much illustrated in their lives. Catherine and Jack Thunheim have been living lives of enviable quality and style. Both of them have conducted remarkable vocations, first in public service, and lately one in public service and one in service but in the corporate or private side of the fence. The movement of them in harmony is as though in a complex symphony, very much more complex than we're used to, and I think Allegro tends to dominate over Largo in their lives. Let me speak first of Kathy. I should, you know, because she is in many respects the boss of this place. She is chair of the Augsburg College Board of Regents, and more than that, I think she is the chair of the search committee which brought me here, and therefore she's here to make sure that nothing too badly goes wrong. She grew up in Northfield and yet avoided somehow the appeal of St. Olaf. Graduated instead from the University of Minnesota. Worked on press relations for Governor and later U.S. Senator Wendell Anderson. Went to Honeywell, Inc., and became the Vice President of Corporate and Public Relations and Internal Communications, which means she became the Vice President of everything said by Honeywell in respect to all who might have been listening. She, about 10 years ago, decided with a colleague to take the unit that had supervised that work private, and so she bought it and established a firm which is now among the largest public relations firms in the Twin Cities, known as Thunheim Santrizos. And of late, she has employed such people as Skip Humphrey and Mark Andrew, and is entering the world of public relations for public entities and public persons. She's on the boards of the Nobel Peace Prize Forum, the United Way of Minneapolis, the Bush Foundation, the Minneapolis Foundation, and the Science Museum of Minnesota. She will go first, and therefore last, which seems appropriate, and Jack will go in the middle. The one thing that perhaps saves the quality of his speech is that we must remember that in the old days, in the old books, the classics, the truth was always found in the middle of the book, rather than at the end. Jack is a lawyer, but none of the jokes, I think, apply to him. He is a native of New Fulton, Minnesota, which, as far as I'm concerned, no map mentions. He graduated from Concordia Moorhead, and yet is still here, I think, quite willingly, in another Norwegian college. He was the president of the Law Review when he was at the University of Minnesota Law School. After 3 years of private practice, he entered the world of public law, and for 10 years he served as Chief Deputy Attorney General of Minnesota. He has been 3 times before the Supreme Court. He won 2 of them. I'm told that the one he lost was a lost cause from day one. He's been a visiting lecturer at the university's law school, and he was the first recipient of the David Graven Public Service Award from the State Bar Association in the year 1994, and he is a holder of the Marvin Award for the most outstanding assistant attorney in America, which was given by the National Association of Attorneys General. In 1993, he was nominated by the President to chair the U.S. Assassination Records Review Board, and in September 1998, his commission established a public archive consisting of more than 4 million pages of government records bearing upon the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. Those documents are available at College Park, Maryland. The Tunheims will address us on a topic concerning which they are brilliantly qualified and about which we at Augsburg College are fascinated and to which we are dedicated, namely citizenship as stewardship. Will you welcome Catherine Tunheim?
Thank you. Dr. Frame, Dean McNeff, members of the faculty, administration, and staff, graduates, other students, alumni, family, and friends. It has been 20 years since I graduated from college myself, and I can still recall the competing emotions of this day. Joy, certainly, and pride at the accomplishment, a certain amount of impatience just to be done with it all, relief at seeing the end of the pressure, the end of the bills, sadness at the conclusion of a lifestyle that does in fact have its peculiar charms. For those of you students, believe it or not, there is some aspect of your time at Augsburg that you may have had up to here today, but you will look back fondly some years from now. I don't know why it happens, I can't really explain it, and I cannot speculate what aspect of life here at Augsburg will be true for you, but it is a guaranteed result. And in fact, I believe it is one of those hidden things that comes with your tuition. But finally, undeniably, there was, at this time in my life, an anxiety at this huge expanse of the unknown that seemed to spread out before me. As Bill Cosby, who's a frequent commencement speaker, would say now, at this point, now what? As I recall thinking to myself at this time, I sure hope this pays off. And that's what Jack and I are honored to have the opportunity to come and talk with you about today. I should share at the outset that we were not sure about this co-speaker format that the President has asked us to undertake. We have not done it before, and we're quite different forms of speakers. I have spent a great deal of my career in public relations and in business, so I have plenty of opportunities to speak. But my husband is a federal judge, and one can imagine the more formal presentation style he will be sharing with you in a few minutes. We didn't even let him robe today just to try to get him to be a little bit more relaxed. But as we prepared and wondered whether this was in fact a good idea, I heard that Click and Clack, the two guys, the car talk guys on public radio every Saturday, are together doing the commencement speech at MIT this spring. So we thought, here we have again Augsburg on the leading edge of a national trend of speakers. And I have to commend Dr. Frame one more time for putting us on the curve as he has. At least it made us feel better to know that we're in good company with MIT and certainly with Click and Clack. The President also mentioned, and it is not insignificant, that I am speaking first. It's particularly important because I'm also speaking last. And I wish I could claim that we set it up this way because Jack really needs me to sort of keep things on course. But that's not it, as you will learn for yourselves in a few minutes. He is just confident enough that I can have the first word, I can have the last word. He will still be the one with the words that stick and carry you away today. But I am honored to be with you, and as the current chair of Augsburg's Board of Regents, I am extremely pleased that he can be with us as well. In her book, Composing a Life, the anthropologist Mary Catherine Bateson creates a hypothesis that each of us, in our own ways, has opportunities to make choices, to select paths that are best suited to our life and to our times. Too often, though, we allow someone else, family, friends, co-workers, even reflections of our society in the media, to dominate our perceptions of success. And so, Bateson's book follows a number of people through some of their explorations, their choices, and then looks for clues to giving one's life meaning, happiness, direction, comfort, certainly elements of success, by anyone's measure. And by most measures, I suppose, Jack and I have found some successes in our lives. We are composing our lives and are honored to be asked to share some perspective. At most, though, we presume to be provocative specimens, like those in Bateson's work, far short, certainly, of models for anyone else's life choices. So with that as a qualifier, let me take just a moment to set the stage and provide a bit of perspective about our frame of reference that may go beyond the introduction from Dr. Frame. Although we were raised in somewhat dissimilar circumstance, we share remarkably similar value systems. We took very different paths through higher education and then met near the end of my undergraduate years and just before Jack began law school. After a few years of marriage, our first child was stillborn, an experience that profoundly shaped our faith. Years later, we are thrilled to be the parents of 2 healthy young people. After a stint in private legal practice, Jack has committed himself to a life of public service. After a short stint in government myself, I have committed myself to a career in the private sector. So each in our own ways, finding paths to pay off, meaning, direction, happiness, comfort. Achieving both a sense of self and a sense of 2 in 1, a strong relationship in marriage, is a central theme for each of our paths as well. But it needs to be acknowledged there is no master plan. No directions came with the packaging. We are composing our lives in ways that are true to our values and our beliefs, with faith that that is the payoff. Each of us in our own ways would like to share with you the relevance of other key themes in our life choices: citizenship, leadership, stewardship. As one who has watched at close range the choices that Jack has made on his path, I know you will enjoy his perspective, and I hope be inspired by it. I'm going to let him take the podium now for a few minutes. So please welcome the Honorable John R. Tunheim.
Dr. Frame, distinguished guests and faculty, graduates, and all the friends that are here today. I'm not sure whether I am click or clack, but I am honored to be asked to participate in this day of celebration for the graduates of this wonderful college. And I am thrilled to share the platform with my partner, Kathy, who has given much to this college. And I'd like to think that we do share a common commitment to public service, and yet we have found such different paths to serve. Our message to you today is one of hope and encouragement that you will each find your own unique way to serve your fellow citizens of the world and keep bright the shining spirit of Augsburg College. And we can pause for a moment briefly today to reflect on the proud traditions of this unique college of the city, this special place in the hearts of all of us gathered here today. Augsburg is so many good things, a place where dreams and visions, where contrasting missions work seamlessly together. Augsburg is an island of solid academic accomplishment, yet it has never forgotten its responsibility to build bridges of hope and leadership to the problems of the city. And Augsburg is a monument to the mighty foundation of its Norwegian Lutheran faith, yet it celebrates an astonishing diversity of humanity that is a source of great strength. And Augsburg is a community, warm and nurturing and traditional, yet it has reached out a helping hand to lifetime learners and to many with special needs, non-traditional students whose lives add to the richness of life on campus. Yes, Augsburg is true to the dream of Hubert Humphrey, who said that education must train rather than chain the human mind, that education must uplift rather than depress the human spirit, that education must illuminate rather than obscure the path to wisdom, and education must help every person make the full use of his or her natural talents. As you begin today a new life of the mind. Carry with you this spirit of learning. Carry with you this yearning to build bridges among peoples. Carry with you this leadership in solving the problems of our society. Carry with you this diversity of life and purpose. Carry with you this striving to reach your potential. And most of all, carry with you Augsburg College, all that it is and all that it will be to the generations to come. We are awakening today to the dawn of a new century, an age of unlimited opportunity for all of you. The engines of prosperity are roaring, and we are at the wheel, watching the great threats to the world order of the old century recede in our rearview mirror. Many of you are poised to live lives a good more prosperous than your parents, and that is good. Perhaps Augsburg will share in your wealth. But I know that you don't believe for a moment that all is well with our world, or that all are content in our country, or that all are safe in our society. And I know that you don't believe for a moment that all is fair and just in our communities, and that no person has been left behind in our rush for riches and in our drive for dominance. Despite the dramatic changes of the past century, there are challenges today that sound very similar to the challenges faced by the 30th graduating class of Augsburg in 1899, and we need not look far. There is still war, starvation, disease, and prejudice on this planet. There is still hatred in our cities, and there is bitterness in the national debate. There are still the homeless, the weak, and the poor. There are still children in poverty and families in crisis. There are still those who have lost all faith, and there is injustice, more subtle perhaps than in generations past, but injustice just the same. As a judge, I see the grim harvest of injustice each day, whether it be in the cries of victims or in the claims of the oppressed or in the mandates of harsh sentencing laws. Whatever its form, injustice needs to be fought with every weapon in our arsenal by every person who cares about their community and their world. In the words of the poet Tennyson, to strive, to seek, to find, and not to yield. Justice, we will never be perfect, but we must not fail to try. For it is, as Judge Learned Hand once wrote, justice lies in the hearts of men and women. When it dies there, no constitution, no law, or no court can save it. Every generation has a rendezvous with reality, and every generation has the opportunity to make this world a kinder and gentler place, to make tomorrow better than today, and to keep hope alive. I encourage all of you to take what has been given to you and give it back to your community and to your world. Give it back with force, with energy, with commitment, and with optimism. Use your brilliance, your logic, your compassion, your finely trained minds, and your warm hearts. Be innovative, be determined, be resourceful and adventuresome. Build bridges, not walls. Don't be afraid to experiment, to fail once in a while. Dream about what you want to accomplish and share your dreams. Maybe, just maybe, others are dreaming the same dreams. And whether it is your work or your passion, serve your fellow citizens. It is not hard to find your way. You can restore lands that are wrecked. You can rebuild neighborhoods that are destroyed. You can heal people who are broken. You can teach children who are desperate to learn. You can minister to a soul who is lost, or you can right wrongs that cry out to be righted. There are so many opportunities. They simply await your commitment, your energy, and your time. One of my great privileges as a judge is to preside over ceremonies marking the naturalization of new American citizens. As I look out over the crowd with flags waving and tears of joy flowing, I often wonder, How can we instill that spirit in America? There are those who say our problems are too difficult and too costly to solve. But listen to the insightful words of the Reverend Jesse Jackson, who implores us, if your mind can conceive it and your heart can believe it, then you can achieve it. And there are those who say that one person truly cannot make a difference. But I'm reminded of the words of Robert Kennedy. Not long before his voice was silenced, he journeyed to South Africa, then sweltering with the heat of brutal oppression. Delayed for months, he persisted and finally spoke these courageous words. It is from numberless, diverse acts of courage and belief that human history is shaped. Each time a man stands up for an ideal, or acts to improve the lot of others, or strikes out against injustice, he sends a tiny ripple of hope. And crossing each other from a million different centers of energy, and daring those ripples, build a current which can sweep down the mightiest walls of oppression and resistance. That is such a hopeful message. A million ripples of hope become a current that sweeps away prejudice. The oppressed black majority in South Africa clung to his words and the words of others for a generation, and the current finally became a river of justice. And there are those who say that the demands of modern life leave no time for good deeds. But you must take the time, whether as a volunteer or as a career. There truly is no right way or wrong way to be a good citizen, only your way. And your way may be the road less traveled. It takes courage to connect with your community, just as it has taken courage for Augsburg to reach out beyond the traditional bounds of a liberal arts college. Courage. But there is more, because the greatest thing is not that you have courage, but that you give it. By your actions, you give courage to others to do what is right. And it takes dedication to devote your time and energy to your community, just as it has taken dedication for Augsburg to strive to reach its full potential. Dedication. But again, there is more. It is a dedication to the broader ideal of democracy, to the rule of law, and a society whose health depends on the willingness of its citizens to contribute. I have felt great satisfaction from my career as a public lawyer and as a judge, and I have felt a similar satisfaction from Kathy's career in the private sector and her extensive volunteer leadership. Two different paths, but I think in a way a similar commitment to public service. And as for you, the paths are many and varied, and they will bring you great satisfaction if you only take them. I look forward to your citizenship as you carry forth the commitment and the compassion of this college. I look forward to your leadership and energy as you find your path to service to your fellow citizens of your community. And I look forward to your courage as you follow the road less traveled to make a difference, to help this world reach its full potential. In time, you will find your way, and you will be rewarded and admired and blessed. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jack. Excuse my informality. I took off my mortarboard because I generally talk with my hands, and I found I was sending that tassel really flying. A quote some of you may recognize. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be such? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We were born to manifest the glory of God within us. It's not just in some of us, it is in every one of us. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. Nelson Mandela, 1994, as he became president of the Republic of South Africa, more than 25 years after Robert Kennedy spoke the inspirational words that Jack shared about Mandela's impact on his countrymen and on the impact on those around the globe who were awed by his incredible sense of citizenship as a South African. What a lesson in citizenship as stewardship. And it is that notion that provides the theme for my path in citizenship. I know that in its most literal sense, citizenship suggests registering to vote, staying abreast of important issues, and so on. But I believe the challenges we face, those Jack reflected a moment ago, require more, and we have so much more to offer. Citizenship as stewardship, understanding that each of us is entrusted with gifts, treasures really. We can hoard them, we can squander them, or we can use them well. So consider Mandela in the face of such burdens, obstacles, such barriers we can't even imagine. First, to recognize his circumstance as a wealth of gifts from God. To insist of himself, acceptance of the notion of stewardship. And then to follow through and deliver as a citizen, as an extraordinary, inspired leader for our times. Finally, our reflections on this notion of steward citizenship seem to suggest a revisiting to the Gospel of Luke and Jesus' story of the dishonest steward. Some of you know the story. He was entrusted to care for his boss's treasures, but instead he squandered them and created huge debts for his boss. Preparing to be caught and punished, he conceived of a clever and criminal idea to negotiate deals with each of the debtors, so that although his boss would lose a lot of money, he, the steward, would have gained powerful new friends. Well, Jesus' disciples listened to the story and then waited to hear Christ's stinging rebuke of such evil. But instead, his lesson was this: be committed to using the talents and treasures entrusted to you for good, as there will always be energy committed to evil. There will always be troubles. Challenges continue for our communities, our co-workers, our families. Said Nelson Mandela, "Your playing small doesn't serve the world. Acknowledge your gifts and celebrate in stewardship of those treasures." So as we go forward from this place, from this day, we acknowledge the troubles still so evident in our times. But I, for one, am liberated from fear in the presence of so much talent, ready and waiting to be unleashed in stewardship. As Jack said, carry Augsburg with you as one of the many gifts that have been entrusted to you. God's peace to you, and thanks in advance for the contributions we know you will make. Congratulations and thank you.
Both a rhetorical and an actual example of the way in which Augsburg College might very well get over its militant modesty. Wonderfully exemplary, and thanks to both of you very much. Three members of this class would like to speak to us a moment. One from the graduate group, another from the day school, and a third from the weekend college. The representative of the graduate group is Charity Thunder. Jackie Four is representing the day school, and Deborah Hutter is representing the weekend college. I wonder if I could say of Deborah that she is one of two mothers who are graduating with their daughters in this class. But Charity, Jackie, and Deborah, I hope you will follow each other to this microphone now.
I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to my family and friends, to Augsburg College, to the graduate program, and to my fellow graduates for all the support you have given me throughout my years in the MAL program. Over the years, I have come aware of the responsibility to teach our youth about leadership. The MAL program has given me the tools to do that, but has also reinforced my belief that the source of this responsibility lies in kinship. Kinship is the understanding that our family is more than just a nuclear family. As I was growing up, my two aunts, Emma and Kate, taught my sisters and I about the responsibilities of our clan. They would visit our family often and share their wisdom about kinship. They taught us with examples and stories. I like to talk about the importance of teaching leadership to our youth. In particular, I would like to emphasize two areas: kinship and spirit. My parents taught us this important lesson of kinship by taking in 3 orphans named Arvid, Ruth, and Minoma, although everyone called her Mickey. They lived in foster homes, and on weekends, they would come home. The moment they walked through the door, I could see the look of relief and joy on their faces. My mother would prepare the kind of foods they enjoyed, and my father shared his wisdom. Now, my brothers and sisters expand this notion of family by helping others during times of need. Some years ago, I was a counselor to the American Indian students in the Black River Falls School District. One of the students I worked with, and I will call her Laura, was a 15-year-old freshman. Laura was an exceptional young lady, bright, cheerful, and responsible. Unfortunately, I would often see her depressed and crying. One day, she approached me and in halting, broken words, told me about her stepfather. He abused her badly, and she was even afraid to go home. After going through the procedures with social services, I took her into my home as a temporary shelter. I did this because my parents taught me that kinship is a responsibility that extends far beyond father, mother, brother, and sister. Although this is not a kinship of blood, it is a kinship of spirit. The clan of my family is of the sky, and my clan's function is to be the servant leaders. In retrospect, listening to my aunts, understanding the functions of my clan, the responsibility to be a servant leader, and the lessons on kinship describes the sense of leadership I have felt with Dr. Norma Noonan. Dr. Noonan taught me how to be a leader by living the spirit of leadership. Beyond what she taught me in the classroom was her compassion, her strength, and her knowledge. This is how leadership is learned, person to person, teacher to student, one example creating yet a better example. In closing, the spirit of kinship makes us all aware of our responsibility to share leadership with our young. My aunts taught me about the responsibilities of our clan, of sky, and of spirit. My parents taught me about the kinship of family beyond my blood. It is now my turn to teach our young about the spirit of leadership.
This past year, I was given the opportunity to study in New Zealand. This experience created many emotions and feelings that had to do with my college career coming to an end. Although I was on the other side of the world, the feeling of Augsburg never left. I still had this great group of people that reminded me of the close friends that I had left behind for that month. In fact, the 4 weeks that I was abroad were similar to my 4 years at Augsburg. The spirit of adventure that I accumulated over the past 4 years allowed me to do things I had never thought possible. I'd like to give you a 3-minute tour of my adventures in New Zealand and at Augsburg College. One of the first experiences in New Zealand was the challenge of skydiving, yet another one of my crazy ideas. Riding up in the small wobbly plane, my mind went completely blank. As we approached the 12,000-foot mark, the door opened and the wind came rushing in. My heart raced, and all I could think of was getting back to the ground, which seemed almost non-existent. Then it happened. I jumped. That 45 seconds of free falling seemed like an eternity. I decided not to fixate on the fact that I was flying through midair, but take in the whole experience, as it would soon be over. After the parachute was pulled, I jerked upward and took in the beauty and excitement of the 2 minutes left. Gliding through the air, I was surrounded by mountains, beaches, rainforests, and countryside. Of course, as you can see, I reached the ground in one piece. During those few minutes, memories of the first day of orientation entered my head. I was walking into Augsburg with my jean shorts, yellow sweater set, and my low-riding baseball hat on that hot, humid day of June 23rd, 1995. It was a day before my 18th birthday. I felt on top of the world. That was until I woke up on that sticky morning in June. It was so hot and earnest, I had accumulated a heat rash all over my body. I spent the remainder of that day walking around in a trance, eating Marriott food, and trying to register for classes. I remember seeing my family as they bolted for me to give me a big hug on my birthday. All I could say was, let's go home. Needless to say, my college life became a lot more exciting, and my rash went away. Another adventure I had in New Zealand was a 4-hour trek up Fox Glacier. Climbing up the hillside and watching the scenery change made me think of the risks and opportunities I have taken here at Augsburg. The feelings of anticipation, frustration, and accomplishment moved throughout my mind. 3 years ago, I decided to get involved with student government. I wasn't really passionate about it. I just saw it as another great social aspect to Augsburg. Soon, however, it changed into something much more. It was those great individuals I took the time to meet that helped me develop that passion that has driven me for the past 2 years. Starting off at a small point and moving rapidly upward was what made student government and Fox Glacier so amazing to me. Today, I'm still amazed that I leaped out of a plane and climbed a glacier. But then, before I started college, I never thought that I would be involved with student government in ASAC, travel to one of the most beautiful areas on earth, and of course, stand here in front of everyone and speak. My college education has been a wonderful adventure. Although the adventures I have taken in the last 4 years haven't been as death-defying as the ones I took in New Zealand, they were more than meaningful. Not to mention the safety aspects. My parents are extremely thankful for that part. The adventures and risks that we took helped to mold us into the bright individuals we are today. The opportunities that we were given have been endless, and those that we chose to take advantage of will be with us for the rest of our lives. Thank you.
Today I join with the 136 weekend college graduates and ask, is this the end or the beginning of our journey? Bruce Chatwin, in his book Anatomy of Restlessness, concludes that all humans are called to the journey. He refers to Jesus and his walk in the wilderness, to Mohammed and his pilgrimage to Mecca. Chatwin says that even football players are pilgrims. The ball they boot and chase symbolizes the migrant bird. This might explain my husband's Sunday afternoon obsession. Our inner being calls us to explore and discover. Let's talk today about the call to journey and an end that is really a beginning. My own call to journey began with the dream of a college degree. When the end of high school was not the beginning of college classes, I believed those doors were closed forever. So at the age of 19, I was seeking personal challenge and began a career as an entrepreneur. After selling my business, my path led me into the corporate world. A few years later, I felt a call to serve others, so my next road led me to a position in the church. It was through that opportunity there was a side road that brought me to Augsburg College. I set foot on this campus and discovered there was a weekend college program. My can't-do thinking was becoming can-do commitment. My call to journey had led me to the doorstep of Augsburg College, and my ending was now a beginning. In fear, I took a baby step and enrolled in one class. I wasn't convinced that I could handle school, my job, and my family responsibilities. I wanted to find out if I could measure up to the competition and live up to the challenge of my own expectations. Well, the first course led to many courses and a part-time job on this campus. My daughter Marissa visited this place during her senior year of high school, and she too chose to attend Augsburg. It is now 6 years later. In just a few minutes, my daughter and I will both walk across this stage and receive our undergraduate degrees. Many of my weekend friends have felt this same call to journey. One graduate here today has been accepted into the Master of Fine Arts program. She is continuing her journey, and she doesn't know where it will lead her. She does know that this ending has become another fascinating beginning for her. As weekend college graduates, we are living billboards that carry the message, education for life, education for all ages, education that is life-giving and life-sustaining. So, are we at the end or at the beginning of our journey? I believe the answer is in this portion of T.S. Eliot's poem, Little Gidding. We shall not cease from exploration, and the end of all our exploring will be to arrive where we started and to know the place for the first time. The end is where we start from.
Chairperson Kathy Thunheim, the Honorable Judge John Thunheim, President Frame, members of the Board of Regents, faculty emeriti, distinguished guests, members of the Augsburg community, alumni, students, family, and friends, on behalf of the faculty at Augsburg College, upon whose recommendation these degrees are granted, and in their name, it is my privilege to present the candidates for the degrees Master of Arts in Leadership, Masters in Educational Leadership, Masters in Social Work, Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Music, and Bachelor of Science. Mr. President, in this 130 years of Augsburg College, I present the class of 1999.
I wonder if those of you who are dressed in these somber robes would stand, please. The language you now hear is extraordinarily poetic. By virtue of the authority entrusted in me by the Faculty and Board of Regents of Augsburg College, and upon nomination of the faculty, I now confer upon you who have completed these requirements the degree of Master of Arts in Educational Leadership, Master of Arts in Leadership, and Master of Social Work. I say also now to those persons with bachelor's degrees, by virtue of the authority invested in me by the Faculty and Board of Regents, and upon nomination by the faculty, I now confer upon you, having completed the requirements, the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Music, and Bachelor of Science, with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. Candidates completing work for their degrees in August or December will likewise come forward with the others. As these degrees are evidence of your successful completion of a college curriculum or an advanced curriculum, may they always serve as a reminder that in life, the highest aim is truth. We congratulate you, and you may be seated. Now we will get on with a task which involves the deans reading your names, and you will be drawn, I guess, toward the front here by marshals, who are apparently properly marked with whatever markings we're using these days. And then you will traipse across this platform, and the chairman of the board, or the chair of the board, and I will shake your hands. And in the case of those who are receiving master's degrees, we will be helped by Bev Nielsen, who is chair of our nursing program, and by Glenda Rooney, who is the interim director of our Master of Arts in Leadership program, and also the chair of our social work department, and by Jay Finney, the assistant registrar. Now, as you come forward, there may be some excitement in respect to the fact that you're doing so. And I would like to make an effort to control the audible signs of that excitement. What we're doing here, notice, is calling out the names of people who have chosen to be recognized with their degrees handed them in this public place. The calling out of those names is of some significance. It's important that those names be heard. It is also important to recognize that some of the people whose names will be called out are not accompanied by a large family or great group of cheering friends. And they will feel, please notice, somewhat left out if they notice others are overwhelmed by joy and support. So, I really seriously hope that you will restrain yourselves. There will be plenty of opportunity to hug, kiss, shout, grab by the hands of, slap on the back, etc., and hoot. That can be done outside in Murphy Square, which we very much hope will be available on account of the absence of rain, the good pastor having done his job effectively. So, we will get on with it.
The names of the candidates will be read alphabetically by degree. After reading names of the candidates for the bachelor's degree, 3 kinds of honors may be announced. First, Latin honors, summa cum laude with highest honors, magna cum laude with high honors, and cum laude with honors. These honors are based on cumulative grade point average. Candidates for Latin honors wear cords on the shoulder in the school colors maroon and gray. Second, graduates who have completed the college's special honors program curriculum will be designated honors program graduate, and these honors scholars wear gold cords on their shoulders. And finally, students who have completed special curricular requirements with a high average in their disciplinary area of study will be noted as having received departmental honors. I will begin with the candidates for the degree for the Masters of Arts in Leadership. Ann Paulson Cahill. Jared Engelbretson. Jerry A. Fenner. Stacy May Frost. Jacqueline A. Holinen. Michelle Louise Jones. Kim M. McWilliams. K. L. Roberts. Charity Thunder. Paula K. Weber. Johnny B. Williams. Caroline M. Wheatus. The Masters in Educational Leadership, Stephen H. Miller. And now Masters in Social Work, Dr. Glenda Rooney will assist in placing the hood on each candidate for the Master of Social Work. Lisa Marie Silvestri Adamich. Wida Yvonne Allen. Kristen L. Anderson. Mary Arfman. Sherry Marie Beckenston. Lynn M. Bloom. Carrie Baldwin. Michelle Burnt. Stephanie Leonard Crosby. Tara Dolliger. Rochelle J. Del Greco. Ramona R. DeCharle. Shar Elioff. Allison Renee Erickson. Linda Farrell Toussaint. Sigrid K. Finca. Gail E. Galerno. Joey Glassman. Victoria Lee Grimm. Michael Richard Hacker. Victoria M. Hansen. Carolyn P. Higginbottom Holmes. Terrence E. Hildebrandt. Lance E. Hotchkiss. Bethany J. Jarvis. Diane Johnson. Roberta J. Casera Reeve. Kimberly M. Lanrigan. Kimberly A. Lewis. Lois Walden Lewis. Janine Meister. Sheila Morarity. Tracy Lou Norstead. Lisa Marie Powers. Ariel Racine. Deanne Reese. Elizabeth T. Ream. Becca Slitterman. Tersina Schellinger. Denise Sigstead. Mary Burren Schold. Deborah Smith Wagner. Laura Turgeon. Brenda Verbick. Emily E. Vincent. Dina M. Wheeler. Bachelor of Arts. Nabila Abu Mayala, cum laude. Leslie Eileen Allen. Kelly Louise Anders. Hannah Lynn Anderson, cum laude and departmental honors in communications. Jenny Elizabeth Anderson, cum laude. Stephen J. Anderson. Dawn L. Erengaren, magna cum laude. Rhett J. Ahrens. Todd Holen Avery. Maria Gabrielle Baker. Pamela J. Baker. Jennifer Lynn Baltuff. Daniel N. Bartlett. Chad Benarick. Boss Dirk William Balin. Siam Ben Slama, magna cum laude. Amy Benishevsky, cum laude. Alicia April Bergman, summa cum laude. Rebecca Ann Byerkey, magna cum laude. Christine Ann Blair. Jeremy Allen Bly. Catherine Tonette Bodertha. Catherine Lynn Bone. Heather D. Bowman. Susan Ray Boothby, summa cum laude and departmental honors communication. Kelly L. Borders. Barbara A. Branco, cum laude. Laura Catherine Brenning. Sheila M. Breesacker. Jennifer Lynn Brinkman. Kathy Sharon Beekler. Maureen Ann Callahan. Christian Eric Carlson. Patricia Sue Carr. Abigail Lynn Cashman, cum laude. Richard Anton Chacolis, Jr. Tengiz Ba Chonia. Tatya V. Chukova, magna cum laude, departmental honors in international relations. Kyron Julie Christensen, cum laude. Shane Matthew Kohlberg. Deanna L. Conoy, cum laude. Amy Nicole Covington. Charles Craycroft, cum laude and honors program. James Curran Dale, Jr. Toby Dale. Lisa J. Daniels, summa cum laude honors program. Kimberly Delaney, cum laude. Luann Mary DeMars. Kevin Michael Dennison, magna cum laude. Davina Desmouret. Kenneth J. Deutsch, magna cum laude. Jill Monica Pecho Di Pancrazio. Nino Doletse, cum laude. Anastasia A. Donetz, cum laude, honors program. Aaron K. L. Dooley. Renee Lee Doser. Lori Ann Dow, cum laude. Christine L. Ettinger, magna cum laude. Kyle Theron Egum, cum laude. Brenda Marie Ely, magna cum laude. Dale Edward Engman. Leopold Apey. Rebecca R. Esser. Catherine K. Evans. Kelly Richard Fawkes. Cheryl Faith Fish. Benjamin Fisher. Rebecca Fisk, magna cum laude. Angelique Flowers. Lori A. Forner. Natalie M. Forseth, cum laude. Kimberly Ann Frizzle. Jacqueline Jonelle Four. Joseph Fulton. Anthony M. Gardner. Meredith Lorraine Galden. Gamachu Galata. Tracy A. Genrick. Devin George. Sally Mae Giebenheim, magna cum laude. Sarah Catherine Ginkle, summa cum laude, Departmental Honors in Sociology Honors Program. Scott David Gerling, cum laude. Tracy Lynn Glumich, cum laude, Departmental Honors in Communication. Vicki Lynn Gohl, magna cum laude. Suping Gong. Denise Secorum Guli, summa cum laude. Jennifer Petra Grimm, magna cum laude. Robin Lynn Gunderson. Christine Stanley Gutterman. Natasha Ann Hammond, magna cum laude, honors program. Mason D. Hanover, cum laude. Krista Shanoa Hassman, summa cum laude. Michelle Ann Helfrey, summa cum laude. Karen Jo Henderson, cum laude. Cale Daniel Henry, magna cum laude. Eric Paul Harriet, cum laude. Jill Louise Hebert, cum laude. Mangesto Hika. Wilbur H. Hill III, summa cum laude. Lori A. Hershey, magna cum laude. Martin Linka. Wendy Nicole Hoekstra, magna cum laude honors program. Leah Renee Holloway, summa cum laude. Ephraim Michael Holmgren. Nicholas Stephen Honigman. Kirsten Ruth Hoverston. Holly Carolyn Howell. Diane Lynn Hunter, summa cum laude. Matthew Husted. Andrea R. Hutchins Wohan, summa cum laude. Deborah K. Hutterer, summa cum laude. Marissa K. Hutterer, cum laude. Kim C. Huwald, cum laude. Marlene Joyce Hoovey, cum laude. Scott Michael Vistendahl. Linda J. Hajdukovic. Timothy Allen Inglet. Francis B. Jackson III. Sharon Marie Jasorski, cum laude. Charles Wayne Johnson. Sherry Marie Johnson, summa cum laude, departmental honors in English. Eric Christopher Brookman Johnson, summa cum laude and honors program. Eric Christopher Johnson, summa cum laude, departmental honors in history and honors program. James Arnold Johnson, magna cum laude. Mary Lou Johnson, cum laude. Ryan Bruce Johnson. Rebecca Suzanne Jones, departmental honors communication. Benjamin Francisco Young Award. Juan Jian. Robin Christine Kale, summa cum laude. Drazen Kasaic. Natalia O. Karlamovich, magna cum laude. Elizabeth Ann Kissling. Heather Ray Klemp, magna cum laude, departmental honors in psychology. Rebecca Lynn Kep. Marissa Joyce Krause. Amanda Kate Krebsbach, magna cum laude, honors program. Helen Elizabeth Creasel, cum laude. Catherine J. Krinke, cum laude. Joe Lai. Locke Lai. Dana Catherine Larson, cum laude, honors program. Terry Schuler Larson, summa cum laude. Andrew Larson. Kathleen Ann Larson, magna cum laude. Mario C. LeBlanc, cum laude. Andrew Mark Lees. Nathan Daniel Lindgren. Jesse L. Lepelt. Linda Campbell Lippett, summa cum laude. Colleen M. Litvin. Tyler W. Livingston, magna cum laude, honors program. Ty Lowe. James Hunter Long, magna cum laude, departmental honors in communication. Christopher George Long. Lisa Kathleen Longmire, cum laude. Brenda Michelle Van Long. Julianne Beth Lynham. Rebecca M. Moss, cum laude. Angela Mary Magnuson, summa cum laude. Tony Marie Major. Andrew Troy Manos. Benedict Michael Marchek, cum laude. Julio Eduardo Martinez Fajardo. Kathleen Carol Matis. Melvin Pratt McCaw. Diane Marie McQuarrie, summa cum laude. Maria Merrill, cum laude, honors program. John P. Mertz, magna cum laude. Bob Matoxen. Antonelli Lucia Leandrisoa. Carrie-Ann Colleen Mickish. Deborah Marie Miller. Andrew James Monteith. Iliada Moshenskia, cum laude. Robert J. Mosden. Evan Rutu. Daniel C. Munson, summa cum laude. Paola M. Murcia, summa cum laude, departmental honors, international relations. Deborah Lynn Murphy, summa cum laude, departmental honors in mathematics. Christina Alexandra Nugi, magna cum laude. Nicholas Dean Nephew. Natalie Marie Newbert, magna cum laude. Annie I. Wynn. Kelvin Kim Wynn. Chung Tang Wynn. Cindy Jean Nordvall. Lisa E. Noss. Joy M. Notch. Kelly Renee Oakland, cum laude. Lucinda Marie Olson. Rhonda K. Olson. Jennifer Marie Palmer, magna cum laude, Departmental Honors in Mathematics Honors Program. Sarah Joanne Palmer. Tara Parker, cum laude. Niraj Patpatia, cum laude. Eric Corlin Pedersen. Deborah E. Peterson. Michael Ronaldo Pedro. Mary A. Pennington. Craig Michael Perutka. Dana E. Peterson. James L. Peterson, cum laude. Matthew T. Peterson, cum laude. Elizabeth Joy Petrick. Ann R. Fernetten, summa cum laude. Sevalad M. Filipankoff. Jill Pintons, magna cum laude. Kimberly J. Pletta, cum laude. Donovan J. Pohl, summa cum laude. Michelle McLean Proctor, summa cum laude. Shanda Lynn Prismas. Diana Lynn Rainford, cum laude. Jean N. Bertie Ramacher. Patricia A. Ray, cum laude, Departmental Honors in English. Megan Renee Renzi, magna cum laude, Honors Program. Gregory John Rimstead, magna cum laude. Joshua James Roberts. Renee J. Rodewald, summa cum laude. Alicia Dawn Rogers, summa cum laude. Ryan Wayne Roiger. Adam David Roski. Christopher James Rothy. Justin Levens Rollinson. Judith A. Roy, cum laude. Chris Ann Royal. Karna A. Rumley. Jill Marie Ruprecht, summa cum laude, Honors Program. Ahmed Abu Qasim Sadala. Victoria Lee Sadek, summa cum laude, Departmental Honors in English. Stephen James Sathry, cum laude. Robert Williams Scala. Karen Schachtschneider. Shelley Louise Schmall, cum laude. Jessica D. Schulten. Jenny Schreier. Susan M. Schultz, cum laude. Gina Marie Scott, magna cum laude. Christine A. Sobichka, cum laude. Joshua Kent Seldal. Mary S. Sargent. Darlene Rose Shelton, magna cum laude. Joseph M. Sharamita. Stephen P. Scholl. Andrea Diane Seward, magna cum laude. Patricia M. Simon, summa cum laude. Kirsten Skelski, cum laude. Jennifer Smet-Anna, cum laude. Aaron D. Smith, magna cum laude. Jareen S. Smith, magna cum laude. Patrick Ryan Smith. Gregory R. Schnell. Michael Allen Snitker. Summer Joy Sorensen, magna cum laude, departmental honors in sociology. Christine May Sowden, magna cum laude. Annette Christine Sperry, summa cum laude. Rhea Noel Springer. Jason Cole Spry, cum laude. Jason Edward Stanton, magna cum laude, honors program. Joseph Michael Stanton. Jamie Lee Stark, summa cum laude. Marcia A. Stevenson, summa cum laude. Elizabeth Stockbridge. Linda K. Stewart, cum laude, departmental honors, international relations, honors program. Daniel Patrick Sullivan Jr., magna cum laude. Trevor D. Talaxon. Jerma D. Turfa. Lisa Grace Thur, cum laude. Sarah Ann Thompson, magna cum laude. Adam Glenn Thronson. Suzanne Elizabeth Tibbetts Young. Lori Toborg, cum laude. Jennifer L. Tome. Thorsten D. Top, cum laude. Todd William Turand. Tracy Lynn Townsend, magna cum laude. Amy Lynn Van Valkenburg, cum laude. Chia Vang. Danielle Marie Vera. Jose Luis Villaseñor. Rebecca D. Walters, cum laude. Edward Harry Warren. James Daniel Weber, summa cum laude, departmental honors in English honors program. Stephanie Webster, magna cum laude. Bradley D. Weiss. Laura Ann Welke, cum laude. Mary L. Wells, cum laude. Jody Lynn West, cum laude. Rachel Elizabeth Westhead, cum laude, Departmental Honors Nordic Area Studies Honors Program. Kyle James Whedon. Christian James White. Anthony James Wickner. Ryan Thomas Wiedebusch. Tracy Lynn Wilk. Charles Williams. James D. Windler, Jr. Joseph Lewis Winter. Kristen M. Winter. Daryl Wiestrom. Kelly L. Woods. Ni Fa Shang. Kua Yang. Mary Lou Young. Angela Zern, summa cum laude. Bachelor of Music, Kirsten Lee Griebenow. Erin Jessica Otto, summa cum laude. Ho Chu Shaw, cum laude. Jerusha Ann Steinbrand, cum laude, honors program. Bachelor of Science degree, Mohammed Ahmed Abduli. A dual degree, Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science, Eric James Alhusen. Ann T. Anich, magna cum laude. Doreen Dur Bondi, summa cum laude. Jane Elizabeth Brockert, cum laude. Michelle Renee Carlson. Angela Ann Cheshire, summa cum laude. Carly J. Christofferson. Evan Kareem Gibson Dodge, magna cum laude. Kelly Jo Dorweiler, cum laude and departmental honors in chemistry. Thane C. Dreyer, cum laude. Jennifer Marie Dewis, summa cum laude. Jane A. Emerson. Jessica L. A. Farnham, summa cum laude. Christy Van Deen Frazier. Tanya Christine Freeler. Dina Jean Gabrielson, magna cum laude, departmental honors, computer science, honors program. Trina N. Givens. Christopher Jessfield, magna cum laude. Sarah Elizabeth Halstenson. Mark Anthony Harris. Amanda Joan Hasper. Brandon Hutchinson, summa cum laude, honors program. Wanda Josh, summa cum laude. Kathleen E. Jourdain Johns. Melissa Ann Cairo Johnson. Mark Richard Joseph. Deborah Jean Kallstrom. Laura J. Kerwin. Constance M. Kitzman. Catherine Maria Kowalski, magna cum laude. Trudy Marie Cooker, magna cum laude. C. Lam, magna cum laude. Raymond Leo Lucking. Jenny L. Lyons, cum laude. Helen R. Martin, magna cum laude. Lynette Marie McDougall. Deborah Jean Mead, magna cum laude. Suzanne Marie Meisel. June Laurie Nelson. Christian L. Nielsen, cum laude. Shayla R. Nystrom. Emily June Oltmans, summa cum laude. Kari Michelle Panganen, summa cum laude. Patricia M. Perkel. George Russell Rule. Sherry Lynn Schrack. Darla J. Siegelstrom, cum laude. Patrick L. Sharp. Patrice T. Singfield Maury, cum laude. Renee L. Sisson. Tina Marie Stutzman. Amy Sundell, cum laude. Brenda Marilyn Teeter, summa cum laude. Janelle Hansa Tuma, cum laude. Shelley Marie Bells. Heather Elizabeth Wagner. Cindy Ann Zach, magna cum laude.
It is now my pleasure to present the Marina Christensen Justice Award for 1999. The award goes to Sarah Ginkle. Through an internship with the Hennepin County Human Services Department and the Minneapolis Police Department, Sarah became deeply familiar with the developments in the Hawthorne neighborhood of Minneapolis, an area in which the General Mills Foundation is profoundly interested in respect to neighborhood development. She was also a volunteer at the People's Serving People and involved in a reading program for young children at the Benjamin Banneker School, a school with which Augsburg has a very deep and long relationship. Sarah majored in sociology with a psychology major. She was a President's Scholar, a participant in Augsburg's honors program, and an active member of the campus ministry unit, and was last year's homecoming queen at the college. The honor that she is receiving, and I ask her to come forward for the sake of that, is presented in the name of Marina Christensen Justice, who was an outstanding example of a woman dedicated to service, in this particular case, community service learning. She is also the offspring of the president of this college 3 times back. Behind 2 Andersons was a Christensen. And the offspring of the Christensens included Marina, whose life was exemplary and who died tragically in a suburb of Chicago some years ago. This award is given to Sarah in her name and for the sake of the community service that she has rendered while a student at this college. Congratulations, Sarah. Oh, right here.